Hi everybody, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader. And today, this evening, I wanted to just talk to you. Now, I get asked often actually, how do I select my cards in my readings? You know, I read intuitively. I'm always talking about the fact that I'm an intuitive reader, I'm a Reiki Master. I'm always talking about the fact that I experience the energies, and people ask me, what does that mean? And I always try to explain that, you know, the process of how you can experience the energies, interpret energy, you know, and discuss energies in a way that kind of helps people to grasp, you know, what the tarot is, what it does, its function, like, and how it can kind of help us to navigate this life and this world that we're in. And so actually so basically everything that I do on my channel, every single thing, so every single post, the title of any post, anything that I say in my readings, anything I say on my Key Wisdom posts, which are obviously not readings, anything, every single thing, every picture that I take for Instagram, every comment that I reply to, and what I write in those comments, every single thing that I do, the times when you receive your readings, etc., every single thing is intuitive. So, like, I never, ever, I mean, I plan, because I'm a Capricorn and I'm me. You know, I'm Nigerian descent, so my mum and my dad are Nigerian, so that's where they were born, and they moved over here when my mum was 16, when they were married. My mum was 16. And so anyone from that type of family knows that you work hard, you know, you get your degrees, you get a profession, like, that's kind of how it is. But with Key Wisdom Tarot, it's the opposite. It's like every single thing that I do has to be inspired. Like, I have to, even though I know, okay, I have to post, if I post X amount of videos, X amount of times a month, I'll make this amount of money and it'll take this amount of time. Even though I know those things, I still, when I plan, I put it in my calendar, and it doesn't work out that way. Because even though I intend that, the universe is in charge, really. I work with the universe and co-create. That's the Three of Pentacles. And so anyway, I've gone on a tangent. You know I love a tangent. So anyway, how do I select the cards? How do I experience the energies? What does that mean? You know, how do we develop intuition? Like, how can we strengthen our intuition? All those type of questions. And you know, I always say to people, the answer is to be mindful. Anyway, I said to someone a couple of weeks ago, I said, I'm going to create a post, and I'll put it on my Instagram, and hopefully that will give you an idea of you know, what I mean, and you know, how I read, and intuition, etc. And I'd taken some images, some pictures when I was out walking the dog, because I was inspired to do that, and it reminded me of a specific tarot card energy. And I thought, when I was walking, I thought, this image right here represents the Five of Wands. And I thought, I wonder if I posted that on my Instagram, you know, and I said, this is the Five of Wands, I wonder how people would interpret that, and what people would say, and how people would, you know, if it would give people the opportunity to experience the energies, like I always talk about. And obviously, I never posted those images. I never did that post. Even though I took the pictures, I never did the posts. Because, as I said, that would have been a plan, wouldn't it? And even though my intention was there to produce something to help people to sort of understand what I'm talking about and where I'm coming from, and what this process actually of being a tarot reader and an intuitive and an empath, what it actually feels like, and a Reiki Master, what it feels like. Even though I plan to tell you, that is not how the universe works, and that's really not how I work. So Anyway, so this evening, fast forward to whatever date it is today, 12th or 13th of, I think it's the 12th, or, well, actually it's the 13th a.m. of March today. And it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. It's been a long day. And I finally, about 12 o'clock, 12:30, I was meditating, not in the sense that you would maybe understand, or what, no, sorry, not what you, but what the generally accepted way that people think that meditation is. Like, I don't meditate that way. I do sometimes, but that's not what I was doing. So I was meditating, I was on the couch, on the sofa, and I was, so meditation means to reflect, to think over and to consider. It's from the Latin word meditare, and that's what it means. And I do that out loud, so sometimes I'll talk out loud, speak out loud to myself, questioning, asking, trying to understand, what is this feeling? Like, what am I actually experiencing here? Like, what is this? And I was becoming frustrated, like the energy of the sort of even trying to sort of be clear, trying to come up with an answer almost to what I'm feeling right now, to the intensity and the physical intensity and the all I can say about this energy right now is emotional intimacy, because it's not the energy in January during the eclipse season was far more physically intense, or for me to experience. You know, it was far more abrupt. It was a lot more forceful for me. It was very expansive. You know, the result of it, after those weeks of spending time with that energy, I had what I'm now calling a spiritual growth spurt, and it was huge, like vast, you know, really huge, such strides in such a short amount of time. Really, relatively 6 weeks is not a huge amount of time to make that type of progress that I did. But it was physically, it was so intense that I literally could not move and could not think and could not even watch a drama on TV. It was like all, you know, it was just difficult. It was hard. I watched a lot of TV, but you know what I mean? I couldn't take it in. Anyway, but this time right now, so it's Mercury Retrograde. So this started on Saturday. So about I don't know what date that would have been, the 6th maybe, or the 5th. And, you know, we had some very challenging energies this month. This is March, so we had some very challenging energies this month. So from Saturday, I was started to really get in touch with Pisces season and the energies of Pisces season, and, you know, and what that feels like, what that was feeling like for me to experience. And I was trying to sort of come to terms with it and trying to understand it and trying to explain it almost to myself so I could be clear. You know, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or the liberation of hearing in the intermediate states, as I always say, the Tibetan Book of the Dead really talks about mindfulness as being it's complete awareness physically. It doesn't call it this, I'm calling it this. It's complete awareness physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually in each moment. That is what mindfulness is. And the reason that we must be mindful, according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is so that we can retain the imprint of the memory of that experience, so that we can, that's a direct quote, pretty much direct, but yeah, so that we can retain the image, the imprint of the memory of the experience that we're having, so that for people that do what I do, we can say, oh, you know, yeah, so when you're experiencing the moon energy, this is what it feels like. And so I can tell you that. So then, you know, later on, if that card comes up for you in your spread, in your reading, you can have a real clear sense, you know, based on my wisdom. Wisdom is gained through experience, as I always say. Based on my wisdom, my experience, you can have a real clear understanding of what that energy is. But that doesn't explain how. It doesn't explain me explaining that this is why I do it, this is what mindfulness is, this is what meditation is. Me explaining that doesn't really give you a sense of the process. So when I talk about being mindfulness, when I talk about complete awareness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in each and every moment. That doesn't, when you say that to somebody, that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't hold any meaning. Because what does that mean? Completely, yeah, you would say, yeah, I'm aware. I'm completely aware of what I'm experiencing emotionally, mentally, spiritually. People would think that that's just a normal state of being. Believe me, it's not a normal state of being. It's normal for us to be able to do it, but it's not a way that we live, because it's extremely energetic experience, because there's all sorts of energies around us at all times. There's radio waves, isn't there? And there's microwaves, and there's gamma rays, and there's all sorts of sounds, spectrum and lights, spectrums that we can't see and that we can't hear and that we can't feel, but they exist. They're all around us all the time. And there are other energies, and we talk about them in terms of, we can talk about them in terms of Reiki energies or Shokure energy, which is earth energy, similar to yin energy, or yang energy, which is Seiheki in Japanese. And also energies of the tarot. So there are different energies. They each have a different energetic experience. They feel different. Each card feels different. Each number feels different. Each sign, fire, each element feels different physically to experience, and they're nuanced. And it's like a spectrum, and we have to engage with it. But how, Ruth? How do you do it? How do you engage with these energies, Ruth? What are you talking about? So you get your answer. So today, this morning, it's, as I said, it's 2 a.m, 3 a.m. now. I wrote a piece. I'm going to post it on my Instagram, and I mean, really, you could call the piece that I wrote. I can't read it to you now because it's on my phone. I wrote it on my phone, and this is being recorded on my phone, so I can't read it to you, and I can't remember what it says, because in that moment of me trying to understand this experience, trying to reflect on, okay, this, I've been in this energy now for a few days. Like, what is this energy? Like, what does it feel like? Like, what am I experiencing physically? And I couldn't describe it, if you will, because it's what a new word of mine, which I've just discovered thanks to Countdown. It's what's known as new mental. And new mental means it's a concept that cannot be described. It can only be experienced. And really, to be a tarot reader, or to be an intuitive, an empath, a psychic, a medium, a light worker, all the different spectrum of things, energy work and Reiki master, all the different types of things that people do in order to divinate, in order to help, in order to heal, in order to help raise other people's vibrations. Every single person has a different experience, and for them to explain their experience is different from me from explaining mine, and that would be different from what you would experience. But in this is like long-winded, but this is also, again, it's inspired, so I didn't think that I'd be sat on my desk at, I don't even know what time it is, recording a video for my YouTube channel, but that's what I'm doing. So I wrote a piece, and you could call that piece any number of things. You could call the piece that I wrote Pisces season. You could call it Mercury Retrograde. You could call it Retrograde. You could call it Knight of Swords. You could call it Seven of Cups. You could call it no, you couldn't call it that. The moon. You could call it the moon. And you could call it any of those sort of energies, those sorts. That could be the title of the little piece that I wrote that's on my Instagram. So you can see this video, and you can see the post. You can go read the post on my Instagram. And if you notice, so when I wrote that, I just wrote it. I was like getting more and more of the energy. I could feel the energy rising in me physically, and it was becoming like frustrating almost. Like it was like something wanted to come out, and it wasn't coming out by me trying to interpret what I was experiencing. I just had to let what I was experiencing come out, as opposed to the interpretation of what I was experiencing come out, if that makes sense. And so the piece is written in that way, and you'll see the piece when you go. And I probably won't actually. I probably won't put it below. I might do anyway. And I feel like if you ever look, so people ask me, what do I read? Ruth, what type of books do you read? And I say I don't really get books about, I don't know, spirituality or stuff. I just don't. I've just never really got stuff like that. But I do have. I'm looking for it now. I'm looking at my bookshelf now actually to see where one of my Buddhist scripture books is, but I don't know if I can find it. I've got all these Dickens and all sorts. Hang on. I forgot the. Oh yeah. Christian. What's that one? Oh look, yeah. So this is one of my books that I have. So so look at how old this book is. Look, it's like, I don't even know what that is, that price. That's not even a price. Like, it's not even a price. Like, I don't even know. So when was this book written? I don't know. It says, I don't know, that might be the person. I don't know. A long time ago. Anyway, so this is a type of book that I would use and I would read. First published in 1951, this book, and this is a type of book that I would read. And if you've ever read any Buddhist scripture, it's got all the different types of Buddhism in this. I bought this book years ago. Anyway, if you've ever read any type of Buddhist scripture, I've got other books on Buddhism, scripture books, etc. If you've ever read any, you'll notice that they're written. They use questions and they're poetic as opposed to being descriptive. It's a way of really speaking to, I feel, I don't know if this is why they're written in that way, but I feel it's a way of speaking to our senses as opposed to speaking to our minds or our intellect. And inherently, when I write, I just seem to write in that way. Not every time, not all the time, but this time when I sat down and write, I just seem to write in that way. Just starts with questions, and a lot of the things that I write do start with questions actually. But I bought this book in 2009. I bought this book. Oh my God, that's like 10 years ago. 30th of the 4th, 2009. Wow. Anyway, that's a long time ago, that, innit? Oh no, 2008. Is that 20? I don't know which is the day. Yeah, I think that's when I bought it. Anyway, a long time ago. But anyway, the reason I tell you this is because I want you to try to. I think one of the things that can be I don't know. I can't think of the word. I don't want to use the wrong word. You see, I'm very precise in the words that I want to use. One of the things that sort of, I'm going to use the word frustrates, but it doesn't really frustrate, but I'm going to use the word frustrate because I can't think of the specific word. One of the things that can be frustrating about being a light worker or a tarot reader, a healer, whatever you want to call it, doing that type of work, is that that people want you to help them. That people want you to give them answers almost, and so I know, on my side of it, I know that, oh my God, I want to help this person. I want this person to have the answers. I want this person to have the peace, the clarity that they need. But actually, I also know that it doesn't matter how many times you tell somebody. The person's got to walk. They've got to walk their own path in order to really understand the answer, in order to really get the lesson. And I think that sometimes, like, in a tarot reading, you want to, like, you want to, like, tell people, oh, this means this, and you're going to you're going to have this life or whatever. But really, the tarot, the energies, the poem, the piece that I wrote, and actually the process of mindfulness and the process of meditation and the process of healing are all about the questions that you ask. It's all about the questions that you ask. It's all about the way that you perceive it. It's all about what you understand from the image on the card, or from these words that you read in front of you, or the piece that I'm posting that's called probably Retrograde, let's call it. It's all about what you're experiencing. And really, the way that I write the pieces that I write, as I said, I write them. I don't sit and plan them. I can't. It doesn't work that way. So even if the language is off, the words off, it might seem off when I read it back, I still leave it, because I understand that it's not meant to appeal to your intellect, this poem, this piece of work. It's not meant to appeal to your intellect or to your literary likes and dislikes. It's meant to appeal to the truth of everything. It's meant to appeal to a part of your psyche that otherwise is not being called to. And that's why I write in the way that I'm not the way that I don't plan to write in that way. I can't explain it. It's like it naturally comes out. Like it naturally comes, that's just how it naturally comes out of me. So anyway, so what I've spent 20 minutes talking, and I will post this video, even though I suppose it's sort of a random sort of happening, and it's a random event. Like, this is a really random thing that I decided to come upstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning, and instead of going to bed, to come in here and to record this, instead of saying my prayers, which is what I use, well, not prayers, but meditating. I usually meditate here, and the lights are usually off, but I have to turn the lights on, which is very uncomfortable for me at this time of night in this room. But anyway, even though it's a bit of a random event, you know, it's like, that's how inspiration works. And sometimes it's like, you just have to feel something. You just have to see something. You just have to do something. You just have to do it. And you don't really know why, almost. And you don't even know the outcome of what you're doing. You don't know the purpose or who's going to hit. You know, you don't know any of that. That's the night energy, by the way. So all the nights are like that. They have this energy, this urge to do something, to say something, to go somewhere. And they don't know the outcome. But they've got all the enthusiasm and energy to sort of go for it. And that's it. That's where I'm at right now. It's kind of like, you know, I struggle with the energy of the Knight of Swords. I don't really like it. I mean, I can say that. I can say that. So, universe, I don't like this energy. I don't like the energy of the Knight of Wands. Not I don't like it, but to feel it, it can be quite not overwhelming. It can all-consuming, you know. You don't know when you're going to stop having these thoughts, these ideas, having something to say. Like, you don't know what the outcome of what you're going to say is going to be. But you just kind of have to say it. I just have to get it out. I just have to get this out. So I'm just getting this out because it feels like I should get this out. And hopefully, I mean, I've been a bit of a long, convoluted sort of way, I suppose, in this video. But I think really that's the point. I feel like the point is that's your path to walk almost. And the questions, I suppose, aren't really there to sort of frustrate you. Just like this energy isn't here right now in Pisces season. The energy here right now isn't here to frustrate us. It's not there to frustrate me or to frustrate you or to challenge us or to make us feel uncomfortable or unwell, even though it's doing all of those things. It's here because it's necessary. And it's here because... So the question that we should be asking is, why is this necessary for me now? You know, what am I experiencing right now? And I think that is always the way to develop the intuition, to develop, you know, your sensitivities, if that's what you're looking to do. So yeah, anyway, I hope that you I don't know, enjoyed this video, kind of, I suppose. I don't really know why I did it, but again, I was inspired to do it, and I just have to listen to that. And this is my YouTube channel, so I can put whatever I want on it. Anyway, let me know how you know, you found this the month of March, and how you found 2019 so far, because I know it's been, you know, it's a challenging year energetically. If you're a Capricorn, it's an amazingly transformative year. But, you know, that means I'm a Capricorn. And that means, because it's amazingly transformative for Capricorns, specifically just because of the 2 eclipses sort of at the beginning and the end of the year, they're very powerful transits, eclipses, and, you know, huge changes can happen. And I'm a Capricorn, obviously, as you know, and it's been hard, and I think that, but necessary. So I've been in fabulous spirit, like I'm in a great mood, generally. Like, yeah, I'm feeling really great, feeling really happy, but, you know, feeling really enthusiastic, but I'm also exhausted, and I'm also coughing, and I'm also like, so, you know, all sorts of things coming up from the depths with Pisces season. So let me know how you're finding Pisces season, and let me know if that actually helped to explain actually what it means to experience the energies. I think really ultimately what it means to experience the energies is that you're asking questions, that I'm asking questions about my experience, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, within each energy, within each moment, within each time. And actually, I don't go around, well, I do actually. I was going to say I don't go around thinking, oh, today's a 5 of Cups day. I do actually. I actually do. I talk in tarot cards now. So when my friends say, oh, blimey, you know, oh, blimey. Yeah, that's what we say, blimey, where I'm from, love. We say, they don't say blimey. Anyway, they'll say, oh, blimey, Ruth, work's been stressful this week. And I'll say, oh, that's 9 of Cups. Or whatever. It's not 9 of Cups, but you know what I mean? I'll say, oh, I said 9 of Wands. What does that mean? Well, it means you try to think about what you know, and I do actually do that. And really, that's, I suppose I've not said that's what you have to do and that's what you should do. What you should do is you should engage with what you're experiencing physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually in each moment, or try to at certain intervals in the day, or when you notice that you're not engaging with your body and your mind, and try to engage with it. And within that space, ask yourself the question, like, okay, what am I feeling? Like, you know, is my mind clear? Like, am I clear in my thoughts? Am I, am I feeling low, happy, whatever, you know, what type of thoughts am I thinking? What am I, is this reminding me of any you ask yourself those questions in those moments, because actually listening to your emotions, listening to your feelings, listening to your, you know, seeking that sort of wisdom really is really helps you to navigate your experiences, helps you to navigate the energetic experiences really, and the karmic experiences, and really the archetypes of the tarot. That's really, for me, what helps me, because if I can feel, I mean, it's you know, it's not like you know, it's like, which came first? Like, do I go, oh, it's Pisces season, so this, how am I going to feel in Pisces season? No, that's not what I do. No, it's kind of the opposite way around. It's kind of like, it hits me, the energy, and then it's a few days after the energy's hit that I go, oh, what's this energy? Generally speaking, that's kind of how it goes. You know, and sometimes I might start with a number, I might start with a numerology, like, what month is it? God, why am I feeling like this? And I might, you know, or you know, it might be activated by my chakras or whatever. Like, it's hard. Like, this morning or this afternoon when I started work, you know, I had my shower. I usually have my shower after I read, but I didn't. I had it before today. And I actually did some Pilates, like some yoga. And that's not usually generally how I would necessarily prepare for a reading or my readings. But yeah, today it was Pilates because and yoga, because I felt that that's what my body needed, and it did, and it felt amazing. But again, asking yourself those questions. So if you're then in that mode, so the mode that I was in this morning, this afternoon, if you will, what would that be? Let me try to... So we got to... I was getting toward the Six of Swords in my mind. Physical body is more Pentacles, really. It could be Wands as well. So you're looking at, yeah, the fives and the sixes. So the Five of Wands. So we're coming out of the Five of Wands today. And that's always a difficult energy to sort of move through, because it's just, it's physically, you really do feel it, it's anyway, you tell me how you experience it, and hopefully I've not waffled for too long. Right, I'm going to bed now, it's time for bed. So I'm going to post your new readings, your new intuitive readings for up to the 20th, actually. So up to Aries, up to Aries. So Aries starts on the 20th, and I'll post the readings up to the 20th on Wednesday, the 13th of March, so you can watch those. And also, don't forget, your March love readings are available. See how exhausted I am? I need to go to bed. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go to bed now. You have a lovely, relaxing evening, and I will see you back on Key Wisdom Tarot very soon. Take care, my lovelies. Bye.